It's now been a few weeks that we've all been stuck inside social distancing because of the coronavirus. I'm actually holed up at my parents' house. This is my childhood bedroom. You can tell, still got the Harry Potter poster. And I've been trying to come up with chores to pass the time. And one thing that's been on my mind is my closet. It's overflowing, it's disorganized, and it just needs some attention. I want to do the right thing and donate, but I can't leave my house. Luckily for us, there's a company called thredUp that lets you mail in your old clothes. On this week's episode of One Small Step, I'm gonna talk to someone from thredUp and learn how to clean up my closet from the safety of my home. We all love clothes, but everything we wear requires a ton of resources. Take this cotton shirt. It's estimated it takes 700 gallons of water just to make one of these. Every time we're donating our clothes, we're giving them a second life and preventing new clothes from being made. I'm excited to Skype with Erin Wallace, thredUp's VP of Integrated Marketing, to learn how the company is tackling this issue.
So what is the environmental benefit of using a service like thredUp versus just throwing my clothing in the garbage because I'm done with it?
The thing with clothing, right, is that if you extend its life by reselling it versus throwing it in the trash, you're making the most of the natural resources that were used to create the garment. And then second, if you toss it, it's going to end in the landfill. And the decomposition there will emit global greenhouse gases. So essentially, it contributes to climate change.
And what makes thredUp unique from other secondhand stores?
It really is the breadth of what we accept. 200 categories and 35,000 brands pretty much means you can send in anything and everything. We accept women and children's clothing.
And I have a clean out kit right here. So what's your advice for going about filling this bag?
You're looking for items, obviously, that you don't wear anymore, but that still have value. So that means we can't accept things that have rips, stains, holes, any sort of damage in that way. We often say sometimes if there are items that you would give to your best friend, that is kind of the perfect item to put in the bag.
Then what happens to this bag once I fill it?
So when you fill it and leave it for your mail carrier, they bring it to one of our distribution centers. It's received, opened, evaluated for, again, the kind of high quality standards that we have. And then it goes through kind of like a crazy process. So our distribution centers were really designed by former Netflix and SpaceX engineers. So they're some of the largest automated garment on hanger facilities in the world. And we receive up to 100,000 items a day. I think we can process more than one item per second at this point, but it goes through a multi-step process. We triple check for quality, we measure, we photograph and list incredibly quickly. It takes a lot of expertise and innovation to run the company at the scale that we do.
So I've got my clean out bag, and right when you open it, you're gonna wanna go activate it on their website. I already did that. Basically, once you get your bag delivered, you gotta register it. And look how big this is. I think I will definitely fill this and probably have some room left over. The first thing that Erin said was to fill it with stuff that my friends would like, my best friends. And I've got a lot of clothes in here that are nice that I just don't wear anymore, so I'm just gonna start filling them up. And they said on their website that you should do things like in the season that is about to happen. So right now, it's a spring season, so I should be putting in spring shoes, skirts, dresses, warmer weather clothing. thredUp says that those things are more likely to sell versus like a winter coat in April.
So obviously with the coronavirus, the whole world has been put on hold. And I want to know, is that impacting your operations at all at thredUp?
We have made a ton of adjustments in our distribution centers to allow for employee safety, and we have reduced the number of people in our distribution centers, obviously, to allow for maximum social distancing and reducing the number of workstations, et cetera. So there are some delays. They're not significant. One of the things that we have done, though, is extend our return period, allow our customers the time that they might need to be able to get to a post office or anything like that.
And obviously there's just so much more concern than there's ever been around health and safety. Is there any risk that, say I had corona and I was cleaning out my closet, that could get passed through my clothes to another person down the line?
I would say it's virtually impossible for the virus to survive even during like shipping conditions, let alone the time it takes to be mailed from your home to our warehouses and our warehouses to someone else's home.
That makes sense because it's not like I'm taking my clothes and it's directly going in the hands of somebody from me to them. There's all these steps in between.
Exactly.
I've done videos on clothing recycling before, and I know that it's very problematic in a lot of ways because there's just so much clothing. You could donate to a place and then they're exporting it overseas, and that's creating a whole other host of issues. So how do you control for that problem of exporting clothing?
We're pretty passionate about that specific issue. So we work with a group of third-party textile recyclers who adhere to our code of conduct that does ensure things like sensitivity to emerging nations and has a focus on returning that clothing domestically. So the vast majority of the clothing that we are unable to sell that goes on to our partners is returned here in the US.
Okay, my bag is full. I hope I can close this because I really filled it to the brim. So let's try. So the inside just has like a little sticker, and you take that off, stick it. My gosh.
Is it possible from turning in a bag that you can get money from that?
Most of the things that we list sell within the first 30 days, and you will earn a percentage from that sale.
To get a clean out kit, all you have to do is visit thredUp's website. From there, you click on sell, and then you can decide if you want to get a donation kit or selling kit. Because of coronavirus, thredUp is currently donating $15 to Feeding America for every donation kit. If you pick the selling kit, you'll get a percentage of whatever sells, and you can choose to get a cash payout or credit on thredUp's website.
So what's one small step that people can take?
My favorite small step that people can take is to consider the fact that if everyone in the US bought just one item used instead of new this year, it would save nearly 6 billion pounds of carbon emissions. And that's the equivalent of taking 500,000 cars off the road for an entire year.
Buy used.
Absolutely.
All right, so I cleaned out my closet. I definitely feel much more peace at mind having to give away some stuff I no longer use. I got rid of some blouses, some dresses, lots of shoes actually, and purses. And I love that thredUp really accepts the full range of clothing. It doesn't have to be designer for them to accept it. So this has definitely been a positive experience. Now all I have to do is put this out in my stoop, and thredUp does free shipping. So they really thought of everything, and now I can feel good. My closet is clean, my clothes are donated, and I did something good for the environment. So heavy. That's all for this week's episode of One Small Step. If you liked it, please share it, and we'll see you guys next time. I hope you're all staying safe wherever you are.